I want, it's me. That I need, it's me. That I'm chosen, it's me. That I'm fading, it's me. That I listen, it's me. That I'm missing, it's me. That's the realest that'll give me that feeling, it's me. No, I don't need nobody else. What I was looking for was always in myself. What I needed was always in me. And that's the only way it's supposed to be. And nobody, I treat you like you can. And nobody, I love you like you can. Nobody can make me feel like me. Said it before, and that's the only way it's supposed to be. Winner, that's me. I never give up on me. You gotta learn how to love yourself. That's the real definition of wealth. Gotta be happy in the inside. Looking for someone to love and treat you right. Just look in the mirror and find yourself. If you feel like me and don't need nobody else, sing along, say. Been searching for this feeling for a long time. Thought I needed me somebody that was on mine. Now looking back, it was all in my mind. It's me that I want, it's me that I need, it's me that I'm chosen, it's me that I'm fading, it's me that I listen, it's me that I'm missing, it's me that's the realest that'll give me that feeling, it's me.
Yo, what's cracking, my people? Welcome to yet another episode of ADQ'S Renaissance. I'm your host with the most, keeping it 100 from coast to coast through God our boast. ADQ. It is Wednesday. February the 10th. February the 10th, 2021. And yes, this year is flying like a crack baby down the street. You know what I'm saying? It is going by really fast. If you're watching this, welcome. If you're not watching this, join us. Join us. And I mean us because I'm not going to be doing this thing solo for long. That song that you just heard was by our guest, our coming guest, Miss Rykashay. That was some powerful stuff. You know, how often are we looking for love in the form of affirmation for people? How often are we looking for love in the form of acceptance? How many of us are looking for love in the romantic realm? I mean, daggone. I was feeling that. It's like, yo, it's me. It's me who I love. It's me who's number one. You know what I'm saying? I love it. I love it. I love it. Oh, excuse me. But that, among many other things, is the inspiration for our guest tonight. You know, why I had Chop It Up with her, because she drops songs like that. I think of a scripture that I shared earlier this week. Let me look it up. Y'all give me 1 second. If you're over there in internet world and you're cursing me out, shut up. There we go. And while we are about to join up our guests, y'all start to pile in. Come on. Pile in. Come on in. Yo, about to chop up some game tonight. You about to get a master class tonight. Come on in. The water is fine. There is a scripture, and you know what? My computer is moving hecka slow. So I am just going to hit up my YouVersion. YouVersion is an app on it's an app of the Bible app that I read very great things from. Like this, Proverbs 10, chapter 10, 22 NIV. The blessing of the Lord brings wealth without painful toil for it. You know what I'm saying? Let's see. What else? Psalm 19:8. NLT version. The commandments of the Lord are right, bringing joy to the heart. The commands of the Lord are clear, giving insight for living. It's that scripture when you're now the internet, you know what I'm saying? I mean, not internet, but technology. Let's see, real quick. When you're faithful over a few things, cause that's facts right there. When you are faithful over a few things, God makes you rule over many things, right? Be faithful in the little things. What? This is why I need to study my Bible more, like for real, for real. Okay. I got like my hair. Yeah, my locks are getting like really long. My phone moves. Here we go. Luke chapter 16, verse 10. If you are faithful in little things, you'll be faithful in large things. But if you're dishonest in little things, you won't be honest with greater responsibilities. It's like when you are, it's like, God doesn't like give you a whole nation right there. You know what I'm saying? It's like a process. And if you are like prove yourself faithful, steward, faithful, loyal, a good steward over the little things that you have been put in charge of, then larger things, larger blessings will come about. Now, another piece of literature I want to share with you all. Powerful book here. Powerful book. Powerful book. That's not what I have bookmarked. Oh, dang. The 10th law of power is infection. Avoid the unhappy and unlucky. You can die for someone else's misery. That's energy right there. Emotional states are as infectious as diseases. You may feel you are helping the drowning man, but you are only precipitating your own disaster. When you catch negative vibes from people, run. The unfortunate sometimes draw misfortune on themselves. They will also draw it on you as associate with the happy and fortunate instead. Yeah, there is such thing as praying and loving on someone from a distance. You gotta do that sometimes. Anyway, so what's up, y'all? What's going on? Holla at me. Holla at me as we await our guest. Also, I tell you what's going on in ADQ's world. Number one, who saw Super Bowl, yo? I hate you, Tom Brady. I hate you, Tom Brady. Forget you. So that's what's going on oh my God, in ADQ's sports world. What's up with y'all for Valentine's Day? You know what I love about Valentine's Day? It's one of the few days of the year where I could save money and not feel bad about it. I keep myself single around Valentine's Day so that I won't have to spend no money. I know that those days are numbered. I know. I know those days are numbered. Yeah, I didn't want y'all to see me yawning. But I'm gonna tell y'all what I think about Valentine's Day. I'll tell y'all what I think about all holidays. All holidays are basically like, you know, consumerist representations of moral standards that we should hold ourselves to year round. Like year round, we should love our mother. Year round, we should celebrate our fathers. Year round, we should celebrate the birth of our Savior. Year round, we should be thankful for everything. You know, year round, these holidays that come up, they are things that we should celebrate and adhere to year round, all year round. And ladies and gentlemen, my guest has arrived. Now, I am about to bring onto ADQ's Renaissance a Renaissance woman in her own right. She's smiling because I feel she can hear me. This is my sister, yo. Me and her go way back. I've known her since I was like walking around with a bad haircut, bad hairline, with no game whatsoever. I once watched her build her empire. You know what I'm saying? I call this episode Bound Down, but really this is a masterclass. So as we add this young lady to the stream, please welcome my sister, my friend, yours. The name of her label is Some Talk About, but we all should be talking about it. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome Rykashay.
Hey. You know, you caught me on the road. You know I'm out here, though. You know I had to do it for you because I love you, bro. How you feeling?
I am blessed, black, and highly favored in these streets. How you feeling?
Man, I cannot complain. Going a million miles an hour. But you know, I could not miss this for you, baby.
You know, I
We
so
do.
much appreciate it. So basically, I called you a mid grind, huh?
Yeah, you know, it be like that. Sometimes you're going a million miles an hour, but like I said, you got to slow down sometimes. So this is the point where I'm slowing down for you, my brother. I got a
I
driver
appreciate
right
it.
now that's driving all the way around the damn world to get me where I'm trying to go. But you know, I'm still here for you. You know, let's say ADQ. This is how we do, baby. What you got?
Yeah.
Talk to me. Let's do this right. I appreciate you for having me, and I thank you for everything, man.
I thank you. I appreciate you coming on. I appreciate you turning the light on and stuff, so the whole world could see the beauty of you.
Well, you know, it's actually the gas station light because, like I said, I'm on the road. But yeah, the light is always sufficient. You know what I'm saying? When it comes to showing you I'm out here grinding. But like I said, I did have to slow down from the grind to make sure I made the time. You feel me?
I feel, and also I want to point out the first time we actually hung out, you was on the ground, like right.
Mm-hmm.
I was with you and one of your associates, and you were pushing CDs, and I kept on making the wax selling point. Yo, get Ricochet. Yo, she a better rapper than Missy Elliott. Looking back, there's no comparison between you and Missy Elliott. She goes for the dances, you go for the stories, right?
Yeah, I mean, Missy Elliott is super dope. But like I said, when you're influenced by certain artists, leaders, or um individuals that have an effect on your childhood, effect of your on your dreams, of effect on your creation. It's just you got to pay homage to it. But I am no Missy Elliott, but I do respect it because we have the same culture. We're tomboys, we're pretty tomboys, and it's not enough of the tomboy dominant women supporting each other. And everybody has their lane. You know, a lot of people are, you have more feminine artists, you have more, dope dealing artists, hypothetically, but to have fun music like Missy Elliott brought to the equation, just fun music without any sexual orientation or any degrading music being put out to the people. She was just a fun artist, and I just like the fact that she was a fun artist. She influenced me, but definitely no competition with it, no comparison other than two amazing women that that can have the freedom without all of the restraints of sex selling, should I say. Yeah.
So this is what those of us who look at you and stand in awe need to know real quick.
Okay.
This is what we all need to know. Okay, so you've been at this grind for a minute, right?
Hold on, ADQ. Hold on.
Yeah.
Hold on.
Again, ladies and gentlemen, we have caught her in mid grind. You know what I'm saying? Like if you all would have caught me in mid grind, I would have said what we say in the theater. I would have said, I can't. I have rehearsal.
Okay, I'm back, baby.
All right, so I gotta know something real quick.
Mm-hmm.
So you've been on this hustle for a minute, like a very, very, very long time, right?
Absolutely.
Like I gotta know, like what was it that pushed you into this area of of hip hop and grinding as hard as you do?
It was mainly more because, like I said, I knew that I had the talent and the capabilities, but in the music game, it is a very difficult business on trying to break it out mainstream. So it's one thing to create or have the power to be creative and have the control to be able to create the music, but it also was more to it as far as how to get it exposed, how to get it to the people, how to create an opportunity of business from it. So it's one thing to create the music and it's another thing to market the music. So I think I became more fascinated on how not to only create it, but to also how to be creative with the marketing, the packaging, and the release to the consumers.
I feel you absolutely. Like when you are able to when you're able to be the creator and the marketer and the one doing all the packaging and whatnot, that basically cuts out the middleman, right? And it just so happens, we're in a generation where the middleman is being cut out a lot. Like the music business is a lot different than it was like back in the early 2000s.
Mm-hmm. And it's a lot of cutting it out because I think the more that the game gets exposed in different avenues and pockets to really get to the point that people are trying to reach, it also really cuts out the middleman because they're no longer needed. Now they are needed for the financial backing to one point on one way that somebody would think. But if you didn't know how to generate that same backing of a budget that they would give you, they give you that budget and then you don't even really see the budget. But all of that budget really consists of is things that you can really do yourself, which is the marketing aspect of it. So it's more like um, people go to the bigger labels just for them to really do everything for them, and that comes with a cost because then you get everything done for you, and then pretty much you still don't have anybody, and then they still have complete control over you, and then you can still get the opportunity of being shelved, which now you can't even have any creative control. So not only do they hold this over you on the creative control part, but the financial part, and then now you're still a puppet for them, and you still may not even be the biggest artist, but yet you're a puppet for them. So I like to kind of prevent all of that. Can you wind your window, please, so I can hear? Yeah, I like to prevent all of that, and just kind of lay out the foundation of the mortar, the bricklayer work on my own without any dependencies of other people. Because things about it is that people will let you down, but as long as you can count on yourself and have the assertiveness to apply yourself, then I kind of like to keep things moving because ADQ, my anxiety be out the roof. So the more I depend on other people, it drives me out the roof. So it's just like with the artistry, it's like gaining control of that, and finding ways to do what the label will do for you, but finding ways to do it for yourself and then implement that formula to them, and then you could possibly get a lot more leeway and exposure that way than just kind of expecting them to do everything for you in the first place. So many people want to, it's just like a business plan. People want to see the business plan before they even invest into you in a business. So it's like once you got that business plan, then you can show them that you ain't playing. But until you have that business plan, then you're kind of waiting on them to do everything. But even with the artistry as a business plan, how can you package the material? How can you get it out to the people without the major strings being pulled? And when those strings get pulled, it's just more of a tug and not just because they're tugboating the whole boat. You know what I mean? If that makes any sense.
That makes all the sense in the world. I hope that those who are watching are taking notes because there are tons of artists out there who have a lot of potential, who utilize the system of the record labels and stuff, got basically screwed up their behind and whatnot. The record labels try to market them and turn them into something that they're not. People weren't
Mm-hmm.
feeling it. Now they start flipping burgers.
Absolutely. And then not only that, but a lot of record labels, everything is a smokescreen. So some record labels, but that's the bad part about monopolizing on people's dreams, because nowadays they got people that go to an event in a suit, hypothetically, and you would think they're an A&R or somebody special, because nowadays people don't even do the research on even one of the labels that they want, so they don't know who the A&R is, they don't know who makes the calls, and they'll believe anybody in a suit nowadays that knows the lingo of artistry. So a lot of people are getting ripped off, and a lot of people are being played with off their emotions or off their craft or off their dream, just because you got like culture vultures who are coming in and playing like they can do so much and really are leading these people astray. But it is the discernment of the artist, because when they do this, they're going off of just a materialistic mindset. So that is the difference also of an artist knowing what they're doing it for, what their purpose is. Because if their purpose is just to make money, then they're gonna find anybody in a suit, whether the suit is clean or whether the suit is dirty. They're gonna find anybody in a suit with a briefcase that can tell them whatever they want to hear and mean no goodwill or intentions for them. So it just then begins for the artist just to find a purpose, because then a lot of the smoke wouldn't even make it to them if their purpose didn't align with what this person was saying. But once again, if you just all about the money from an artist standpoint, you're gonna believe anything that come your way, and a lot of things that come your way may be dangerous and mean good harm. I mean, good intent for your ultimate end game.
Absolutely, absolutely. See, it's movers and shakers and hustlers and stuff like yourself, like Tyler Perry, who have this frame of mind. And now I'm trying to build on that frame of mind myself. But yo,
Mm-hmm.
let's get a little history real quick. Now,
Oh, hold on, HCQ. Let me try to turn on this Bluetooth just so I can hear you, and maybe you can hear me better. Hold on, hold on.
all right, cool, cool, cool. Make sure she can hear the sound of my beautiful voice. Yes, this is the beautiful voice.
Yeah, hold
That
on
woman.
1 second. I just want to make sure I can hear you good, good.
All right.
Good go.
And for all of you who are watching this ADQ's Renaissance, I am chopping it up with my sister, Rykashay. And we are about to find out, as soon as that Bluetooth is good, where in the world the name Ricochet comes from. Because guess what? Yes, she calls herself Ricochet so much that she will think this on her birth certificate, but it's not.
Let's see. Is it connecting? All right. Well, it won't let me connect it.
Daggone technology is crazy.
All right, cool. Yeah, it won't let me connect it. But yeah, so yeah, sorry about that. I'm back. I'm back. I
You
was just
good?
trying to get a better audio, but while I'm driving, they letting me connect the Bluetooth. But it's all good. I can hear you. Can you hear me good though?
I can hear you perfectly.
Okay,
Just
perfect,
hearing the
perfect.
sound of your voice is bringing back memories.
Yeah, man, we had so many memories, and that's the thing. Like, when you start to appreciate the journey, a lot of people get lost in the destination, wanting to be big, but the being big is just part of you growing in the journey, in the transition from who you are, where you're going, and the dreams that you had and allowed them to come into fruition. So a lot of things is all about the creation, the positive mindset, and the growth of it. But once again, a lot of people just chase the being big and don't realize that them making the steps, like how me and you met and the relationship that we built, and as the time has passed and we can catch back up like this and we are in good spirits and good health and good mindset to be able to build, that is part of the growth. That is part of the getting big. That is part of, a healthy lifestyle as far as pursuing the dreams and connecting with relationships from that dream, because you know me from being an artist. So it doesn't matter where I'm at in the world, you still have access to me, and you still, and that's just a real situation that, you know what I'm saying? A lot of people get so big and you can never touch them. You can never contact them. You can never, because they lose
Mhm.
they self along the journey. But part of being big is finding yourself, staying connected, always remembering the people that supported you, always striving forward to be doing bigger and better things, and allowing that as a template from where you know me to paint the picture of so much more that you know that I am going to be doing. And if you don't see it or know it, because I ain't spoke of it yet, or if you see it or know it, you know in your heart that I'm doing these things, because that's what you met me on, that foundation of the dreamer, of the doer, of the action. You know what I mean? And that speaks volumes. So when you get stuff like that, that is part of the paved way. You know what I mean? And just along the way, meeting great minds and masterminds like yourself, where we've always connected. And I don't know how long it's been. It's probably been about 7 years, maybe, since the last time. When the last time I see you, when you was at the mall and you was recording in
I
Greensboro Mall?
I think so. I think so. Like it's been a minute because I know I haven't seen you ever since I moved to Greensboro, which was like 5 years ago. But
Okay.
yeah, it's been a minute. Yeah, it's been a hot minute. Like you
So,
still in
so did
Winston?
you did you come to the Hewitt Business Center to record? Is that where I met you, or did you come to Greensboro Mall to record?
I came to the business center. The business center over
Oh,
in
oh,
Winston.
okay, yeah. So it's been about 12 years. I don't know. It's been like over 10 years since I done. Yeah. Oh my gosh. Yeah. That's crazy. So that just also
Not for
shows
life.
that, yeah, that's crazy that we've done a lot of great things together. And along the way, it's been creating a platform not only for me as an artist, but creating platforms for you as an artist. And as you grow from being an artist to the man you are as a teacher and a leader and everything, it's just planting those seeds to allow you for someone else to believe in your dream like you believed in it. And I just feel like I always have believed in other artists' dreams, even though I'm a dreamer and painting the canvas myself. You know what I mean? I'm an artist still painting the canvas. But once again, when a lot of people, um, it becomes a selfish game, and that's why, you know, unless it's done with purpose to help others, the artistry can be a doggy dog eat world where nobody looks out for each other, nobody supports each other, nobody. It's always competition. When nothing should be competition if it's purpose. We can all unite and help each other, and because it's the end game of who we are as who we are and where we're going on that path. And it doesn't stop with just if you make it on BET or not. You know what I mean? This is a lifelong journey that has been before and after, you know, eons ago. You know what I mean? So for us to line, it's all about the alignment of these spirits within this realm, and it's even bigger than music to me. You know what I'm saying? So when you can have enough courage to support somebody else truly and help push their dream or give them the platform to be able to utilize the tools that not only I was able to use for myself, but offer them to other artists. I think that's a part of love and an unconditional love that um, it just gives it a whole different purpose. You know what I mean? And it got to the point where I was more concerned about helping avenues and ways to help other artists. And it was so overwhelming for me to be an artist because I had so many businesses that I was wanting to allow other artists to use as a platform. So it's almost like I kind of bartered to create these platforms for other artists to use, even though I was an artist. But it was like I got the joy out of showing other people and helping other people fulfill themselves as well. You know what I'm saying?
It could be a very joyful thing because see, I've gotten into playwriting, right?
Uh huh.
And when I watch artists, when I watch other actors, doing the best they possibly can with words that I've written and stuff. Just sometimes he says, "Okay, yeah, I'm loving this. I'm loving this. I'm loving this quote." Like there's a young lady out of Mexico who was in one of my recent readings, and it was like the first time she's ever done anything that was in English and anything that wasn't a musical, right?
Mm-hmm.
So I'm like, yo, she's growing over something that I wrote. So seeing her develop stuff is beautiful thing to watch.
And yeah, and that's how
Ricochet.
you got to do. You got to tie them in together, and then you'll start to see that everything is connected. So as you do the screenwriting and the plays and stuff, when it comes down to scores and all that stuff that accompanies movies and stuff like that, it's also other ways to get into it and slide your music in as possibly being a score in a movie. But then it also shows you, like, from the acting side of it and from the sound side of it, everything correlates. You know what I mean? So it's almost like you still had to know as an artist, and even as you being an actor and in the screenplays and screenwriting, you still had to learn the artistry, how to record, how to do certain things, because all of those things are connected. You get what I mean? It's just
Oh
like
yeah,
you just now find more of your passion on which one makes you happier, but actually they both exist together. You know what I mean? The expression, you know what I'm saying? The artistic expression. You feel me?
absolutely. Now you gotta tell me. You gotta tell me something though. You gotta tell me something. All this game you giving and stuff, but you gotta tell me this. We have been calling you Ricochet for so long that we would swear that it's on your birth certificate, right?
Uh huh.
But that ain't your name. Your name is. You mind if I still? You mind if I share it with the world?
Yeah, I mean, yeah, feel free.
Sarah Evans. Now, where did the name Ricochet come from? You gotta share with me. What made you look at the word Ricochet and say, "Dang, yo, I'm gonna call myself that"? What made where did that come from? If you don't mind, if you don't mind answering.
Now, the thing about Ricochet is that whatever you put out into the energy comes back. So you have to be very careful on what you put out because it will return. So it's a boomerang effect or a ricochet effect. So you put out good energy, it comes back. You put out bad energy, it comes back. Now, with the original name being Sarah, that's K Sarah, Sarah, whatever will be. So it also ties into the ricochet because it's like whatever is meant to be will be. Whatever you throw out comes back, and everything is related, and everything has its time and place in divine alignment. You know what I mean? So it's almost like I didn't plan it like that on purpose, but it actually all makes sense on the full direction that I'm going. I live by the mindset of things will be. Whatever it's meant to be will be. You can't stress anything that can't, but you can create these things. So as long as you create them, they will be. Also, whatever you put out into the universe comes back. So it's almost like you have to apply, you have to create, you have to enjoy, you have to also have the purpose to align with what you want, because you can want a lot of things, but if the purpose and the intent behind it isn't good, positive, or rewarding to anybody else other than yourself, then it's pretty much a waste also. Not necessarily a waste, but it's like doing double work. So it's almost like just alignment with everything as it should be. Whatever will be shall be. That's the rock. And whatever you put out comes back, so make sure it's positive. And that's the ricochet.
That's beautiful. See, my name just came from. My name is just my government name, my initial. You got all that going on and stuff. I don't even know. I don't even know what Adrian even means.
You
It's
gotta look
the
into it.
definition
It
out there
gotta be
somewhere.
some, or even if it don't, what you think it means, you gotta make it be some. Or sometimes maybe you can't even identify with an Adrian. Maybe that's just something your mama gave you, and you're even bigger than the name Adrian. You know what I mean? So I
Mm.
guess I just had to think of the ways that if she gave me that name, what does that name mean? And when the song K Sarah Sarah whatever will be, I thought that was pretty ironic because I was like, well, damn, that is Sarah, and I was like, so I took the whatever will be from that. So you got to probably find out what relates. But sometimes names are just names, you know what I'm saying? And sometimes names have no value meaning. Some of them have a lot. It's just what you relate to. So some things you got to make relatable if you really trying to figure out self and figure out how your past affects your present or your future, because they are all three parallels that run together. So it's almost like I had to make it make sense for me. And then when I did that, I was like, oh, well, it ain't too bad. You know what I mean? Because everybody in school used to call me Sarah, hypothetically, the teachers that didn't know. So I only use Sarah in extreme situations. But to know that it's Sarah and to know that it's meaning that I can recognize with gave me the purpose of like actually liking the name. You know what I'm saying?
I feel you. I feel
And
you.
like I
Well,
said, even before I liked it, that's why I came out with the Ricochet because I was like, let me give myself a little pizzazz. But the more I'm realizing is the Ciroc got the pizzazz too because of what it means. You know what I mean?
I feel you. So that's where I at. So that's where I feel like the name of your label. I feel like name of your label is tongue in cheek because obviously when you put out your product and whatnot, when you doing your thing, you don't want just some to talk about you. You want a lot to talk about you.
Right.
But I feel like there's a powerful meaning in there. And by now, tons of talk about you. But tons of talk about don't really flow that well. But some talk about does.
Right.
Where does the label come from?
Yeah, because you got to realize if it ain't something to talk about, then it ain't nothing to talk about. So somebody got to have something to talk about in order for it to even be relevant. So by the time you have something to talk about, then that's substance. So substance and just the substance in general, something to talk about. You know, like the grandmothers and the old people just say, you tell them you do music, you like, yeah, they're like, yo, you talking about something? So it's just the fact of it is substance from it, something to talk about. Because like I said, if it's nothing to talk about, it wouldn't be something to talk about. So they cannot exist in the same, you know what I mean? So it's one without the other, or it's nothing to talk about at all, but it's always something to talk about. You know what I'm saying? So it's always something to talk about. Like, let's give us something to talk about. You ain't heard that?
Of course I have.
Oh,
Dude,
yeah.
we're the same generation. Come on
Oh,
now.
now, you know when they come out with a country song twang and got something to talk about, then you know us black folks got something to talk about now. If the country folks got something to talk about, then it was time for me to put you know, and I didn't even hear that song until after the fact, but I thought it was pretty cool that country folks can have something to talk about too. You know what I mean? And I'm from the country. Yeah.
Yeah, and the crazy thing about that is the crazy thing, back to hip hop. Crazy thing is, you know, um, Southern MCs. I'm going to say we because I still dabble. We're not respected as quality lyricists, right?
Mm-hmm.
A lot of people here in North Carolina and think of the fact that we're just like a stay away from Georgia, right? And
Mm-hmm.
think, okay, everybody down south sound like Atlanta or Houston. But nah, here in North Carolina, we got a whole thing going on. We
Mm-hmm.
got people like you, like Little Brother, like Cole, like Rhapsody, and stuff with that quality lyricism, right?
Absolutely.
And I'm like, dang, see, no, y'all need to wake up because North Carolina doing it. I haven't gotten into the baby yet, but the previous people that I named and stuff, like I listened to your joint, It's Me. Your joint, It's Me.
Mm-hmm.
I was like, dang, dang, I feel the same way. Sheesh, she's ricocheting that emotion out there. I'm throwing it right back to her right now.
Right. Right. It's the reciprocation of the energy. And like you said with the song It's Me, a lot of people go looking for the wrong things or they like to be satisfied by other people other than themselves and they never look inside themselves in order to pull out what they want from somebody else. So that's why I did the song It's Me because it's like the whole time you looking for something else, somebody else and all of that, everything that you want, looking for and need is inside yourself. And as long as you pull it out, you are abundant in so many ways. But it's just like, one, to be told to pull it out, two, to know how to pull it out, and three, to have it in you the whole time to be ready to pull out. You know what I mean?
I do. Well, tell me this. I've noticed I've noticed in comparison to from your earlier stuff, trying to name easy, the early from your earlier stuff, Zing and some talk about in comparison to the newer stuff. I know it's a bit of a change in your style. Like back in the day, okay, back in the day. and I would hear you sing, I wouldn't hear Ricochet. Daggone, I would hear Sarai. You were like coming from a soul, right?
Right,
But
right.
from your music, I can hear that you were more predominantly rapping. But it sounded like, but from some of your new stuff that I heard, you kind of like get back in and singing, right?
Right.
So what comes
And see,
through?
what happened was always before I used to do the two, and that's probably why people like related to the Missy thing because I could go back and forth and do it. But when I was doing it like that, nobody was doing the singing thing, so I kind of didn't think that it was cool enough, and that you had to put on this facade as like you got to be so hardcore hypothetically. But then the more I kind of like was doing hardcore, it was a form of expression to get the hardcore out hypothetically because certain things change from my perspective to what I was doing to what I wanted to put out. And then the more I started getting consciously aware of like what I was doing and the people that I was influencing, that's what made me want to kind of like change my message. Not change it to the point where I'm trying to turn nobody to no religion or nothing, but at least have some form of substance if I'm gonna be expressing. So pretty much, like I said, it just kind of went now from me not being afraid to express what side I bring out, whether it's just hardcore rap or whether it's a little bit of harmony. But like I said, I think beforehand, that's why I really appreciate Missy because she was able to do both of them and bring balance. But like I said, when you start trying to do something new in a world that ain't nobody doing, people like, if you ain't like a Patti LaBelle, you can't really do the singing thing. But now everybody's singing with auto tune and everything. So I knew now, like, I don't even have to have auto tune on my stuff. So I ain't gonna say that it's cool now to sing, but it's more of a market of expression. But I'm like I said, the '90s era and all that good stuff. I'm all about expression. But it's just like you kind of find your pocket as you independently um, just have freedom control. You know what I mean? So it was like the hardcore thing was one thing, but trying to go back and forth with them, I didn't want to confuse people. Now I'm grown, I can do what the hell I want, and it's like pretty much making sure that I am putting out the best message for like my soul. So now it's like the music is more for me versus me trying to like prove something to somebody else. You know what I'm saying? So now when I do music, I want to be talking to me, and within me talking to me, I am the reflection of other people, which in hand will be talking to them. You get what I'm saying? But if I'm just trying to reach a crowd or an audience that, you know, doing certain things that I may grow out of now, I gotta find different ways to reach that market, or that market ain't for me. You know what I'm saying? But over growth and development, you find out what market is what by just the growth of you. And then when you start to serve yourself and be able to do music that makes you happy and a reflection of you, it then becomes a reflection. Once again, that ricochet effect, putting it onto other people, and who will it apply to? It's the law of gravity, or should I say the law of
Law of
the
attraction.
law of attraction. Yeah, that's what I was looking for. The law of attraction is going to attract the people who it needs to hear, and allow them to then love themselves. You know what I'm saying? So it's like no longer forcing anything on anybody. I'm just now using the law of attraction um, to induce um, beautiful thoughts, beautiful feelings, growth in that person, and confidence. You get what I'm saying? Of knowing themselves.
Absolutely, absolutely. I want to ask these two questions. I got more questions, but these two questions. Number one, I look with locks.
You say what? How you look with locks?
Yeah,
You look amazing. I ain't never seen that before.
thank you.
What made you do that?
One day, I was sitting up under a tree, right? And I could feel, all of the ancestors talking to me, and they got inside my crown and said, "Stop studying me. You're beautiful the way you're handsome. You're beautiful the way you are. You don't have to study. Stop studying me." And so I just let it grow and grow, and then
Mm-hmm.
I'm getting a little uncomfortable to look at. So I started getting locked up, and here I am. I'm
Mm-hmm.
totally lying, yo. Nah, here's the real reason why. I saw what Jay-Z was doing with his hair. I was like, yo, that's fly. I want that. Here I am.
Well, you know, the hair is the antennas, so they're like antennas to communicate, and they're just nature, and you are to communicate with your hair, and if you cut it down, you probably are growing and learning and being able to learn and see so many different things with your hair grown out, because they are antennas to connection. You know what I'm saying? But you look nice. You've grown very well, and you've turned into a great young man. Yep. Because like I said, when I probably seen you, you was a baby then, but yeah, you definitely turned into a great young man. Yep.
This coming from a woman who's all of 3 years older than I am, but thank you so much. You turned into a great
You so
young woman.
funny. Say, I know. I swear you was so much younger than me. I don't know what it was. I just felt like I've been doing this all my life. I was probably 12 at the Hewitt Business Center. I don't know what happened. I had to be 12 years old at the Hewitt Business Center recording you.
Well, for one thing, you look the exact same way. You haven't aged a day.
Well, thank you, sir, thank you, sir. And
And
my
now,
birthday is in 14 days. Thank you, sir.
14 days, so that makes you dang,
A Pisces.
that makes you fishy.
Oh yeah, a Pisces, baby. You know we the best. You know that. You know what time it is.
I ain't gonna say all that. Virgos.
But yeah, so everything is flowing, man. Like I said, I'm feeling good. I got a lot of great opportunities that I've invested my time and self into. A lot of great things is coming up. A lot of great, um, a new mindset, a new reconstructed way of thinking, living, and breathing, and just a lot of knowledge that I've been taking in to better, develop myself and those that are around me and the world that's in front of me. Um, so like I said, that's also part of being an artist, because we have to create something out of nothing. We have to create a better way when there is no way. We have to create something when nobody else can see. So artistry honestly never stops, because I think artistry is almost just the manifestation of being able to have the imagination of seeing things that you want, and the manifestation to bring it into fruition. So a lot of people are artists. It's just different kinds
Which
of
brings
artists.
me
You know what
to
I'm saying? So I think what's that?
well, I was about to say this. That brings me to my next. That brings me to my next question. You sound like you
Okay.
heavy into knowledge of self. Have you always been into that? But or is this like, or has this been something that has developed in the past few years?
Well, no, I've always been into that. For me to be able to do the things that I've already done and have accomplished in such great, short, long time or whatever. Um, but I think the more knowledge of what I didn't know is coming about, and it's really dope because it's allowing me to put it into effect to for my plans to, globally help the niches and the markets and the cultures that I can be effective in. So I think that knowledge is changing that. But I think that at some point I had some kind of distinctive knowledge that was against the odds and everybody else for me to have been doing it since I was 18. Um, so pretty much it's something new of the information that I've been receiving that has like literally showed us that everything we have been taught is a lie. But that also lines
Mm.
up that also lines up with probably why I've been thinking this way anyway, and just being so independent with everything. So now with the knowledge, it's just showing me how to be fully independent on, you know, just completely everything there is to have. When, like I said before, I just had a portion of independency, a portion of, like, of course, breaking away from the system and working on your own, being self-employed. Like I said, since I've been pretty much like 20, that was my last job at 20 years old. So for me to be able to like be off the system, create revenue, create wealth, follow a dream, and be consistent enough to have that go on X amount of years. Um, I think that knowledge has always been there, that spark has always been there, but it's just now unraveling to why it's there. You get what I'm saying?
Now, I get what you're saying, and yes, people, this young lady has been working for herself since she was 20. Um, though she don't look it, she's past 20. Um, her business is hip hop here in North Carolina. Everything she's talking about is daggone, let me tell you something. And then you saw my represents this right here. See that? You see my
Oh
flag?
yeah. Oh yeah. Oh
That's
yeah.
what we. That's what we all as a people need to be doing. You,
Absolutely.
you need to write. You need to write that down.
Absolutely. To start until you start looking into yourself and then try to even figure out why that's there. So it's just like really just trying to dig for answers, but yet um, just allowing you to be creatively able to think of these things and get information, and you decipher which is what. But I think as an artist, it comes to a point where all artists think different. Um, they all think different. It's one way to think different just for the flashy just for that, but it gets even deeper than that on really the purpose of one that calls himself an artist to really have that much freedom and creative control. It's something bigger within them, their purpose, and their existence. You get what I'm saying? I don't know what happened to ADQ. Oh man, I wonder if it's the service. Okay.
Hey, sorry about that. My internet tapped out.
Oh, good. I was about to improv. You know what I'm saying? I was about to hold the show down for you. You know what I'm saying? I was about to get it to him, But I was like, nah, he gonna be back. He gonna be back. I was ready though. Yeah, but I'm here.
Shout out to you. Shout out to Aaron Durr. Shout out to Dan Beckman. All three. Shout out to Caleb Kurtz. All y'all have been improv hosts of ADQ's Renaissance when my internet would start tripping.
I was ready, boy. I was ready. You ain't said nothing but a word, boy. I felt it in me, boy. It was about to come out.
Hey, shoot. You owe it to the world, Rykashay. You owe it to the world. But before my internet went out, like it's on drugs or something. So you was sharing how your knowledge and stuff, and and how and how manifestation, putting things out there into the universe, putting things out there, spiritually and stuff. You're like a living manifestation of that. So tell me this. When you know your story, when you know your story, when you know how hard you work, I know how hard you work. You work. I'm like, dang, when is your day off? Um, what do you do when the haters come? You know what I'm saying? Sometimes when I have haters, you know, sometimes that the arts in us are like sensitive about stuff.
Well, I'm gonna tell you this. I
What's up?
honestly have been supported independently all of my life. I don't even really see haters because haters are people who really just want to like beat you, learn from you, or want what you have. I have so many supporters. My supporters always outweighs the haters. I had more yeses than nos when it comes to direct sales with me and my business, and that's what I do. So the thing is that you the no's are what's supposed to motivate you in marketing, sales, and anything like that. If you don't get a no, you never get to the yes. So I don't even really spend time on the haters because they are just people who want love and a hug. You know what I'm saying? They just don't know how to ask for it. So, at this point, like I said, I've had an extremely amount of support from people all over the world, especially in North Carolina, for all of these years as my career has always done well. So I can't really relate. I don't even like to spend time on even talking about anything negative like that because I don't see the haters. I don't feel like have them. And if they were there or are there, they were only there to propel me to keep going and also to make it one step maybe easier or difficult to get to my task because you had to have some kind of friction because with friction creates growth. So if it's no friction there, you stay stagnated anyway. So if that was the case, they propelled me to keep going because I know I'm in a lane of my own. And whether I inspire certain people and they don't want to say that, or they take certain ideas, I just like to know that I can put out positive energy. And if it's picked up, if it's duplicated, perfected, or even just, part of their creative portfolio. The point is that I feel like I'm a pioneer within my own existence and within my own purpose. You know what I mean? And I apply myself for me, nobody else. And along the way, once again, the law of attraction, I have inspired people like you and other great people who have supported me. So I, I don't even really trip or see no haters like that, because I kind of even, I stay out of the way of all of that. You know what I mean? So yeah, I
Absolutely.
don't know about no haters. They motivate me, but that's easier said than done. But I've had more support, more yeses, of people supporting me and buying into my product than I've ever had a no. Even my CDs, they have a return policy. If they didn't like it, I give them their money back guaranteed, free. Nobody came to me wanting a refund. Nobody came to me saying that I did them dirty and sold them a blank CD with nothing on it. I had no return. I had no returns, even though I had a completely free return policy with the money back guarantee. Um, so I just think it's all about the vibration of people buy into you as your personality, as your love, as your spirit, as what they see in you. And if anybody disagrees what everybody sees to be good, hypothetically, and anybody sees any faulty in that, it's almost like they got to see that in themselves. So if anybody see me and feel bad or any ill intent, it's only because they got to check themselves. You know what I'm saying? Um, and that's perfectly fine. You know what I mean? But at the end of the day, it's like, you know, use that energy to either, push you, and also they got to use that with ill will to fix themselves. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, yeah. I always get love though, baby, because I am love. ADQ.
I love you.
I know that's right. I love you. You so funny. But yeah,
Like
it's all love, baby. It's all love.
like I said, this is like a master class, and I want to show you something else.
Okay.
Hopefully my internet won't disconnect again. Okay, you see all them posters on my wall?
Uh huh.
Okay. Oh, daggone, the light's so bright. Okay, all all of those, most of those are plays that I've acted in, right?
Mhm.
Along with what I have on YouTube. For any Ricochet fans who are watching this, please subscribe to your brother on YouTube. You know what I'm saying? I'm pulling my own guys off of y'all. Anywho, um, I will tell anybody watching you do what you're doing stuff, that energy kind for me and made me say, okay, I'm 5'7", heavy set, so I'm working on the weight part. I'm never going to be taller, but I'm working on the weight part. And now I have locks. I know that I'm a great actor, but I'm not going to be like number one on anybody's like list or anything. So
Mhm.
it comes down to I gotta know that I'm right. I gotta know that I'm good, that I'm great, and I'm gonna tell the world that I'm great, and keep telling them to not listen.
Mhm.
I got that from watching you. You did this to me.
That's what I'm telling you. Because you can either have 300 people who say you're not great out of 400 people. You got to look at the statistics. Either 300 people can say you're not great, and 100 people just love you great. But the 300 either are something's in that 300, whether they are being honest, whether it's criticism, or whether they're just a hater. You can't just put everybody in a hater category. You have to dissect what can be changed, because criticism is good. So then it's like, okay, well, if I got the 100 that are, feeling me, I can also dwell on the 300 and do what I need to do to fix that, or I can satisfy my 100, take the criticism, do my best to, maybe try to win over 100 from the 300, but you still are not going to have all 400 people like you. You know what I'm saying? Um, so it's almost like, once again, the comfortability. If the 300 people didn't like you and all 400 people like you, you wouldn't have nothing to work on to get better. You know what I'm saying? So the fact that the other 300, either you're trying to win them over or you learn from what they don't like, it still gives you that fire to perfect yourself. Because even though the 100 may like you, it's like, as an ego trip, you may want all 400 to like. But once you find balance, you might find balance with knowing that 200 is gonna like me and 200 don't, because that would be the equal balance. You get what I'm saying? It just
Hmm.
depends on what ratio you want and what how it affects you. You know what I mean? Because if you want them all, then something might be wrong with you. Supposed to da 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 da. But it always has to have a balance. You get what I'm saying? And that balance brings the good. Some brings the bad, but even the bad brings the good. And sometimes the good also brings the bad, but they both work together. You know what I mean?
Yes, yo, I'm loving this spirit. I'm loving this spiritual talk. I'm loving it. I'm loving it. You are so completely right. I'm telling you, I'm naming this episode STP Masterclass.
Wait, what's that?
I said I'm naming this episode STP Masterclass because that's what this is. This is Masterclass.
Oh
Mr.
yeah, absolutely.
Masterclass. Brought to you by Miss Ricochet. Tell me this real quick. Um, I feel number one, I remember once when I got a friend request from Facebook, it said Shine Bright. I'm like, who in the world is Shine Bright? Shine Bright, who's going around here calling themselves Shine Bright? Okay. I'm like, then I see Winston Salem, then I see I'm talking about stuff. I'm like, yo, this Ricochet.
Now I'm gonna tell you why I did that. I just, once again, marketing is everything. Social media is everything to certain people. I I'm more of a private person, but yet I know that I have to be open because of the lifestyle that I live and who I am. But what happened with my Ricochet page, um, now once again you can have someone that needed a hug, but since I didn't give him a hug, he reported me to Facebook and basically said that I wasn't using my real name. Now, Facebook is supposed to use your business name. My business name is Ricochet. So when they wanted proof of my license and all that stuff, I don't like the government stuff. I don't like them prying in my business. And that is not necessarily what Facebook is for. So I opted to have that page deleted. And I don't like Facebook or social media. But with the new business that we do now with the club on the wheels, where we have a mobile entertainment venue where we're able to do parties. We're able to do meet and greets, listening, mixtape releases, all kinds of things. With that business, which is called One on One Entertainment or One on One Events, One on One Bar and Roll, it needed its own Facebook page. So that's why I created it, Shine Bright, because I'm always shine bright, and I'm back on Facebook with it. But I will not give them my real name. I will give it if I choose to, but I don't want to be forced to do anything. So when I was forced to try to either keep that page, like I said, my Ricochet page that I have been using for my whole career, or walk away. I have enough willpower over myself to walk away over something that I don't feel is right. Um, and once again, that's all part of purpose and all part of what you're willing to do in this materialistic world. So I opted out, let them have the page, deleted that damn thing and everything. And so yeah, that's what really happened with that. And then, like I say, I just operate on the shine bright because I'm always shining bright. And like I said, out of the other businesses and other things that I'm attached to, it's just a platform and an avenue to still be kind of in the loop for the marketing purposes. But I just don't like. I like to be under the radar as much as possible, and that's why even though I am an artist, I am like a seclusive artist. Like some people want to be famous, like I say, for boastful, materialistic things. I just like to be an artist to create in the freedom, and with that creative freedom, I like to do what I want and not be controlled by a certain system or certain money or certain, what I mean, way of thinking that everybody else do for the materialistic clout. So it's like I'm willing to, if I had to, lose my Facebook page. I'm willing to, certain things that people are so attached to and can't let go. Um, I have I have balance to be able to let those things go if need be. You know what I mean? And start over. You know what I'm saying? And not necessarily starting over ain't always bad, but it just depends on what's the cause, what's the reason. Are you a martyr for standing up for what's right, or or do you fall a victim to do what you got to do just for what I'm saying, the comfortability of what you want. Me, turn off it, activate, deactivate it. And I went off the grid for a long time with no Facebook. Like I said, that Shine Bright Facebook just got recently put up within the last year, and even then I'm barely on there. So it's just like I said, the more I find myself and what I really enjoy doing, the more I can go off the grid, live off the grid, and it will not stop who I am. It would only create more vibrations of who I really am the more I get off the grid. But once again, that's a double standard with an artist, because as an artist, you always supposed to be seen. You always supposed to be in front of the camera. And that's something that didn't always necessarily agree with me. You know what I'm saying? And that's when I also knew that making it big, hypothetically, ain't for me either, because the stuff that comes with being big, I am not willing to risk myself for those materialistic things, lies, and betrayal, if that makes any sense.
It does, and I ask myself a lot, do I want to like go the full way? Because I ain't trying to suck nobody's feet to get rolling the movie. You know what I'm saying?
You say sucking nobody feet, boy, they ain't the only thing gonna be sucking getting big out there. But boy, they getting wild out there now. They getting wild, boy, they getting wild. You might want to run.
I shoot. So I packed out one theater for a show, and that made me think, you know what? I think I can do this. But that is a conversation that I'm having with God. Um Now, I will tell you this. I've been looking at some stuff that you can post on your Shine Bright Facebook and stuff, and I'm like, oh my god, whoa, ooh, what, ooh, Michelle Obama's a what? What? Ooh. I feel like you would have alternative views on this whole COVID pandemic than the average person would.
I mean, it's
You
it's
said like
it's
you.
actually, yeah, it's so much information is frightening, because one thing about the agreement is, like, they have to tell you this stuff, but it's like how they tell you it makes the average person not believe it. But everything that is being said, or anything that I say, or anyone that would be called a conspiracy theorist, hypothetically, it's all proof in it. It's just because they have to agree to tell you. Okay, the cabal, the elites, they have to agree to tell you. It's just how, when they tell you, people still don't take it for face value. They kind of just like rub it off. But it's been plenty of people who say Michelle Obama is a man, and I mean, and that's the thing. I want to be very clear. They're pushing a whole transgender agenda. Um, Now, as we all know, people love lesbians, but people hate, like, gay men. Hypothetically, I am of this culture, and I am just saying, like, the way that they're wanting to push it on the people, it's more of a natural agenda, because people choose who they are, or it chooses them, one of the two. But the point of what their agenda is they're pushing a lot of stuff on younger kids who have not got to a point where they can make that decision for themselves. And that's where I kind of disagree with it. I think it kind of really started with Dwayne Wade's son, and I think that's what they wanted to get to, where kids can basically approve to have certain sexual changes, certain vaccine shots. Pretty much, they can make their own rules without the parents' agreeing to it, or signing off on it. Now, that to me, like I said, it is now becoming a dirty agenda, where they are targeting the younger audience. And keep in mind, younger, because they haven't had a chance to realize who they are and make their own decision, and basically influencing them by social engineering. You know what I'm saying? So that means, certain commercials that you may see where two guys are kissing, hypothetical, even two women. Now, we can use discernment as adults to decide, okay, do we want to kiss another man or another woman? But if you are like 3 years old, you can't really decipher if that's right or wrong, hypothetically. So now it's social engineered on you to make it feel like it's all right at 3 years old. So when you become older, it's just something that you've been around all your life. When I think certain things should be private versus what should be public. Um, so I think personally, with the whole Obama and a lot of other transgenders out there that nobody knows, or people that do know. But the sick thing about it is that a lot of heterosexual men enjoy transgenders. They just don't like talking about it. So what is about to happen as they're slowly social engineering this to make transgenders cool? It's either going to allow heterosexual men to come out and be honest with it, or it's going to get very dangerous because heterosexual men are going to be found out that they like trans. So it's just really coming to it. Once again, it's just pretty much to shake up certain homes, certain situations, certain lifestyles, and once again, the social engineering. You know what I mean? Because, like I said, it's a lot of trans out here. No disrespect, because I am of that life, but it's just more of a they got a dirty intent. They got a dirty purpose. So when they find out that Michelle Obama is a man, or I've heard Megan Thee Stallion, I don't know, but just hypothetically, all of these people who people thought was a bad bitch, hypothetically, and then they pull a trick out to find out that this wasn't even a woman at the same time, it just will give a mind mess up to a lot of people. Even men who might have thought Megan Thee Stallion was cute, when she find out she a man, they might have like internal issues where they might think they're gay, and they might go through a depression, they might go through mental health things because they didn't know this knowledge, and then they might question themselves on why they didn't know it in the first place if they supposed to be a man knowing what's a man and a woman. But it's all about the tricks, and it's going to play into a it's just gonna it's playing off the mental of everybody, you know what I'm saying? And it's an attack. But once again, I ain't here, doing no ball checking or nothing like that. But I just know I am of that lifestyle. So I know certain things that doesn't offend me, and I can tell when a man is a woman, and you may have a hard time understanding that. You get what I'm saying? You may not know that that man was a woman, hypothetically, because you're not looking with the same eye that I'm looking at. You know what I'm saying? Um, so once again, it just makes it a very risky, touchy situation on the intent of what they. It's a lot of stuff, brother. That's in the background plan that's happening. Um, it's a scary situation. I'm not even gonna say scary, because fear is not even an option, but it is mind blowing to see the things that are right in front of your face that they've lied about, or that they're hiding, or their agenda, or their intent, and it's just mind blowing. It's That's a whole nother conversation on its own, because it really gets deep. And like I said, a lot of things that has been told is a complete lie. Yep.
You know, my little sister, who's really my cousin, but I love her like a little sister. She's a little sister. She's my little sister.
Mhm.
She's also a tomboy. She's also tomboy and LGBT, like you are, right? Y'all
Mhm.
basically speak. Y'all basically speak the same. Y'all basically speak the same language. Me, I just go out here in these streets and try to love everybody and stuff because I know that the suicide rate in the LGBTQIA community is just off the radar for a whole lot of reasons. But I ain't trying to be lied to. You know what I'm saying? So when you say stuff like
Mhm.
that, you make me think, hey, maybe I need to start dating women with kids, yo, just so I can know that they got a vagina.
Yeah, because
like,
it's serious. And the war,
like,
that war, like I said, the LGBT community is not creating a war within that community of people who identify with themselves as being LGBTQ. It is going to create a war of the heterosexual man who now feels violated that he looked at a woman that's a man and didn't nobody tell him. And that's how you get a lot of hate crimes. People hate crimes come from either they have been exposed for doing something they didn't want to and a guy told on them, or they didn't know, or some way, or that's when the hate crime times come. You know what I mean? But it don't be the gender war within our own community. It be the outside feeling offended or betrayed or lied to or whatever, and that rage comes out and becomes violence. You get what I'm saying? So I think that, that's why it can be used as a weapon. You know what I'm saying? And I just think that along with a lot of other things, is a lot of things is going to be exposed that once again, it's like a rabbit hole. Like, you learn one information and then it sends you to something else, and then that sends you to something else, and then, like, even with the conspiracy theory mindset, hypothetically, like, when I learned out, honestly, what kind of made me change my music, my intent, and my purpose is that when I realized, like, the Illuminati, like, it blew my mind because it didn't agree with my spirit, it didn't agree with my soul, it didn't agree with who and what I was doing it for. So once I realized that the Illuminati was real and the certain things that you really have to do to be famous, I checked out then, to be honest, and that was at the Hewitt Business Center. To be honest with you, I learned about the Illuminati at the Hewitt Business Center. So everything that I've done since pretty much 2005 at the Hewitt Business Center has been with me knowing the intent of, I'm not doing this to be super big. I'm going to be big in my own lane because I can create my growth and how big I want to be. But it wouldn't necessarily me still trying to chase a record deal. Um, Once I learned out about the Illuminati, I knew then that I had to do everything independent, create my own studio so I have my own place to record, create a way to get the product to the street. So that's why I did the kiosks, I did the online, the foot patrol in the streets, and then I did the store so I can have my own avenue to sell the music. Created my own club, so I have my own platform to perform at. So I kind of created the whole circuit that I would need as an artist. Somewhere to record, some of my own. So at this point, I realized if I had to do that for however long it gave me joy, that's what it was going to be, because I've sold over the amount of units to get recognized by a record label. But the key thing is that if I still want freedom control, that record label ain't gonna do me no good unless I'm gonna put on a skirt, put on makeup, sex sales, and certain things that it would not bring me joy, happiness, and peace within myself. You get what I'm saying? So that's the point that I realized, like, honestly, that's the point that I think that I woke up, like, and what, if I was gonna do it, how I was gonna do it. If I was gonna do it, no longer do it for the materialistic wealth, but do it as a platform to allow me to be able to have the platform, and how can I help others. So that's always how I've always thought, how can I give myself the platform, and how can I help others with the platform. So, like I said, ever since I learned out about the Illuminati, it's been a rabbit hole ever since then. And that's exactly what it turns out into. And now with this terminology, or the presidency and the pandemic and everything like that, it's almost like an extension to that Illuminati information. It's a different. It's all connected, because, but it's like an extension where it now leaks out to your regular life on how they're doing, like, regular people, and um, brainwashing and confining certain people off just the government plans, hypothetically, which is now, once again, they target the athletes, they target the artists in the urban communities, because they know that's what we want to do. So it's all tied and connected. So it's like either they get the working man, which is the government, or they get the artists, or they get the athletes and tie them into the Illuminati. So they all chain together, and pretty much for the demise of the, certain kind of people. But it's like, you got to kind of know that. And once again, if that's what you want to do and chase the money and get the bag or whatever, you don't care about that, then, it's people out there that I used to run across people all the time in the studio, like, talking about the Illuminati. And I'm like, ain't no way in hell I'm signing that. And they be like, oh, well, give me the pen, I sign. Where they at? I'm ready to sign right now. And see, people don't understand just the power in the tongue. And for them to even say that will guide them to evil situations, or dark situations, or dark agenda situations, by just even playing around saying, give me the pen and I sign with the Illuminati. Even if it's not necessarily a physical thing, but you speak it into a thing where um, certain things are manipulated off what you will do for financial or a worldly return. You get what I'm saying? Um, so it's like some people are with it, you know, and I was finding a lot of people who like I'm with it, but I just knew I wasn't with it. You know what I mean? And at that point is where I became rebellious, and I ain't look back, and I don't regret none of that because I still wouldn't sign with them. I still wouldn't do nothing that would do any harm to anybody else deliberately, you know. And that's why a lot of my things changed as far as my music, as far as you know, just my strategy of how I went about it. Um, the way I appreciate the love and support from people because I knew, you know, I was breaking against from the norm and why I was doing it. So everything kind of came full circle of why, the purpose, and everything. But yeah, that rabbit hole deep, ADQ. If you ain't ready to go win it, stay out of it. But yeah, it's some deep information, boys. Some deep information from what's going on in the world right now. But yeah, that's another conversation. But I've been, like I say, oh man,
Yo, Ricochet.
yeah. Can you hear me?
I can, yo. You were going so deep that they froze you for a second.
Oh yeah, it's this service area. I'm sorry. But yeah, so like I said, it's just it really gets deep. But most importantly, that's also another part of being an artist, being able to see certain things and pick it apart than what the average person was. Because a lot of people are brainwashed and a lot of people are programmed. But it's something about us artists where we're not easily programmed, and that's why we go against the go against the grain of what the normal people do, and we create a way out of no way, and we create our own lane because eventually when you start to find this out, a lot of stuff makes sense to some of the people who've always been creative the whole time because they think with a different part of their brain. You know what I mean?
Right. Yeah, absolutely. Like we artists. I think we artists. A lot of artists are like not all artists, but a good number of artists are kind of like seclusive, a little bit moody and emotional because they see a different world. We see a different world from the one that we are for, forced to operate in. Does that make sense? Or am
Mm-hmm.
I trying to be deep? But but like I said, this is a master class because I'm learning a lot from you. What's your next what are you working on? What project are you working on right now? Actually before you answer that, tell me this. All that you just said, all the Illuminati stuff, is that what has kept you an artist of your caliber in North Carolina? Because me, I can't even picture you signing a record deal because I feel like you too big for a record deal. Ain't no record company to hold you and all that you have to offer to the world. But with
Mm-hmm.
all but with all that you named, is that what kept you in North Carolina? What are you still in North Carolina?
Well, honestly, like I said, a lot of my units came from selling them. Actually, I sold so many units in North Carolina where I was running across the same clientele. So I actually had to merge off to different cities and states in order to reach a different demographic. So I went overseas. Sold a lot of units there. I was able to sell enough units, took some of that money with some of the money I made from selling CDs in the streets. And that's how I was able to get the store, well, the kiosk that I had first in Haynes Mall. And that was just a way to be able to sell the units. So from there, took that money and worked and worked and worked, selling the CDs in different places to open up the store. So I think me traveling all over, um, was very important to reach different people. But the only reason why I was kind of like bringing it back to North Carolina is because I wanted to kind of do something for North Carolina as its own. Because a lot of things wasn't popping and bubbling out of North Carolina. Now with the baby, now it gives it a little bit more push. But that was the whole concept to go ahead and really pretty much bring some light to North Carolina, bring some attention to North Carolina, and that's pretty much what the whole concept was with that. And yeah, so pretty much the everything was pretty much just kind of catered to the North Carolina artists, as well as venturing out and doing a thing there. You know what I mean?
Hmm. So what new stuff you got going on? What you working on now?
So now pretty much like I said, I opened up a club, and the crazy thing is, like I say, with how the system can get you because it's like from the kiosk that I opened up, it went from selling CDs in the streets, going overseas selling the CDs, getting a kiosk at Haynes Mall, getting a kiosk in Greensboro, and then actually opening up a store in Greensboro. Then leaving that store, getting a bigger store in Greensboro Mall, then leaving that one and opening up a freestanding store, studio, school with the club. Now, the problem with all that is that I had no issues being in the mall for the 8 years that I was there. The moment I went to a freestanding location, I completely built up an empty shopping center with the businesses in it that had no business. It instantly became a very popular spot. The white man saw this and pulled it from me with no reason whatsoever, only because he wanted to put somebody white right beside what I had created to be direct competition. But instead of making it competition, they said, well, let's get her out of here. Let's find a way to get her out and pretty much create what she created without her. So that's kind of what happened. So when that did that, it threw me for a whole loop. Like mentally, I was so distraught because can you pull at this door so my service don't go bad and I can focus? But yeah, so pretty much when that happened, it basically threw me off because everything that I had worked on, built on, and everything and created, not only did it work so well when I was in the mall, but the moment I tried to branch off and take it to its own freestanding location, it's like the white man saw that, grabbed it, and manipulated it for exactly what he wanted it, which left me back at square root one. Now, once again, the average person probably would have fell all the way apart. But what I did was I stepped back and I realized that I gave them too much control by them having that much power over my establishment. You know what I mean? So at that point, what I did was now I went on ahead and invested into like a whole club on wheels, and it's called 101 too, the same as the club was 101. But the whole point is that what I did that for is that nobody can take that away. So now it's like I can pull up and bring. Please stop. I can pull up, bring the club to the people outside, and pretty much basically still have the same effect, function, and everything like that without being in nobody else's space. You know what I'm saying? So now, pretty much with the 101, we do any party, we do the club, we do shows, we do all of that, but we can now bring the party, the club, and all that to you versus expecting you to come to the club. Now that worked in our favor because as COVID-19 happened, a lot of the clubs, bars, and everything was shutting down anyway. So it actually worked because even though they try to put me in a bind, they put themselves in a bind because now ain't nobody getting no brick and mortar businesses like that, especially not where that was at. So I had to realize that everything happened for a reason, and it's how you react to the situation and it's how you still propel and move forward. So saying that, the club was taken away from me. Everything that I had built was taken away. But what was given to me was something that nobody can take away because now I'm mobile. I can pull up and I can do that. So not only that, the other thing that we're working on, or should I say that I'm building moving forward, is that showed me like living off the grid, living off like the restraints of them, having your own freedom of control is powerful and it goes a long way. So everything that I do now is mobile, from my business to the club to even building a tiny home community. So I'm in the process now of building a whole community of living off the grid on a community village kind of nation thing. We're looking into getting people sovereign so that way, it's going about it the right way, rightfully, where we return to governing ourselves, which is also part of creative and freedom and that kind of control. So at this point, building a community, a village where basically we have our own nation, uh, which goes in hand with me being able to provide the entertainment, the talent, and all of that kind of good stuff, but just on a bigger level. Um, from just the entertainment side of it being mobile, the community being mobile. I also work with a community, a nonprofit of doing things with the kids, just like me, big sister. I also do volunteer work and things like that with the homeless community, and I also work hand on hand with uh, a group of dominant women like myself. We call pretty tomboys. So I kind of empower them. We're like a sisterhood and things like that. So, like I said, it's just a lot of things now that I'm just using my skills and expertise in being of purpose and being filled with purpose, and also being able to apply myself to others for the bigger purpose. So the music and all of that, like I said, is all good. I do it when I want to create. I do it because I love it. I do it because I can. I do it, but it's like I'm even more than that. So at this point, I'm more like just building more on a bigger platform where the world as we know it has completely changed. Where it's going has completely changed. Uh, and I'm sure you're aware of it, about to be two presidents, right? And Trump about to still be the president and return us back to the republic.
Dang, you just up and threw that out there.
Huh?
um,
Are you aware of that one?
right now, what I'm thinking is, as far as that goes, currently the president is, Sleepy Joe Biden,
Mm-hmm.
but the Republican part, but there's a large part of the Republican Party that is still a, allied with Trump, and that's about all I know about it. Sound like you know more than I do. Please share.
Yeah, the White House was sold on. I mean, it was up on Zillow. They were trying to sell the White House. They haven't even been in the White House since Trump has left. Biden can't even get into the White House. It's been surrounded by security, and DC is foreign territory. Washington DC is its own foreign territory, so they don't even have access into the White House. They're talking about moving a new White House in Florida, but that's the one Trump gonna be at, and it is basically returning to a republic. Now, in this same explanation, there are two parallels. Some people will still continue to be with Sleepy Joe. But the truth of the matter is that Trump will be the 19th president. You know what I'm saying? So it's like two parallels running simultaneously. So at the end of the day, with things like that going on, it's so many things that's going to be revealed. That's most importantly like how to take this information and apply it not only for you, but the next, the community or small portion of people that you can put in agreement on alliance. You know what I'm saying? On effective ways to move forward. You know what I mean? So that's pretty much where my mind is. I take information and I like to find a problem and I like to create a solution. You know what I'm saying? And that's pretty much what my whole life has been. What I want to be, what's the problem getting there, how to fix it, how to create a solution. You know what I'm saying? And so with that answering your question, the solution is I am mobile because the brick and mortars, unless you own the land, the people can come take those businesses right from under you, and you have no grounds. You get what I'm saying? You can
Mm-hmm.
put hard sweat, blood, and tears into it, but unless you own that business land that business is sitting on, the landlord can come take it back at any time. Me, some people will risk that. I don't like putting my life, hard sweat, blood, and tears into something that somebody can just come swipe under you. That's another thing that gives me anxiety. Because if I've already came up with a solution to the problem, I don't need nobody coming putting their hands on my solution. You know what I mean? So that's kind of like how I think, and where I've kind of catered my interest to. What's the solution? How can you be so efficient nobody can come take nothing away from you? And if you can't get the land, how to get it where it's mobile, where you don't even need the land? Because when it's time to pack up, it's time to grab it, pack it up, and keep it moving. So it's almost like how to keep it always moving. The more stagnated on one little piece, and if it ain't yours, it's never gonna be yours. But the moment that you can build on that piece and it creates any issues or somebody come in, pick that piece up and move the Lego to another place. You get what I'm saying? So that's the mindset that I'm on. So everything I'm doing mobile, the club, my housing, everything. You know what I'm saying? So that's why I'm doing a tiny home development together we rise. So that way, as a community, we're able to live together. We're able to build together, grow together, farm together, heal each other together. Just, things like that. It's a lot to go into it, but most importantly, the like minds and connecting with like minds, and like I say, finding a solution to the problem. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. So I'm
Yeah.
really just out here just living, loving, and day by day finding the purpose that makes me happy, and how my purpose can be effective to the world, to who it's supposed to as a people, and most importantly to myself.
I'm about to show you a picture of a human being who would hear all that you got, all that you are trying to put, all that you are, the type of change, the type of moves that you're making, that you are making,
Hmm.
and who will love it. I'm gonna show you the picture of the person.
Okay.
Here it is. Bam.
Oh yeah. Oh, I was about to say Marcus Garvey. Yep. Yep. Yep.
In deep Jamaican accent, he would say, yes, this sister know what time it is. Yes.
Yeah. And it's got to be more to push together as a collective. Before you can change the world, you have to change a few. You know what I'm saying? And then sometimes changing you and a few is the world. Because we affect a big part of the world based off our mind and just our perception. So once again, it's all about. I've learned that with just dealing with artists. That I've helped a few. I've changed the mind and the perception. So with me applying that to everything else that I do, link with like minds, link with like perceptions, change the mind, change the perception, see the problem, find a solution. So really, that is what gives me joy, to be real with you. um I mean, I am so grateful for, like I say, the success that I have endured and encountered over these years that I've been doing it. I am appreciative of just the creative and the freedom control that I not only have, but that I thrive to continue to keep. Um, and I'm also appreciative for my mind to be able to perceive certain things that one would say is crazy, but I can rationalize with it, balance with it, or use my own discernment on what is right or wrong when the rest are sheep and they're masses and they're going with the same thing. Um, so it's just, I am just really enjoying this part of my life of knowing that, um, as you heard the song Legacy, like knowing that, grounding, saying this, that I am a legend because I've paved the way not only for myself but for others. Um, but to know that I am a legend within my own space, you know what I'm saying? And to know that as a legend, I will continue to do legendary things. Just really gives me great joy, to be honest with you. And I'm just enjoying that as an artist. So I'm just at a point where I ain't necessarily hounding nobody to buy no CDs right now. I'm just pretty much living all of the rewards that people have, invested into me for me to be this person and become a bigger and better person. And I'm just enjoying the rewards, the growth, the advancement, and the new direction of just solitude, or just, should I say, just the new level of where I'm going, who I am, and what I'm here for. You know what I mean?
I've had varying views about you over the years, right?
Mm-hmm.
When we first met, even though I'm taller than you, you're a girl and whatnot. I was a little afraid because I was a little afraid, because I know that you used to be an amateur boxer, and you just had this mystique about you that said, yo, she a girl, but she's serious about her stuff. But as I got to know you, I've come to see that you have a heart of gold. When we were
Thank you.
riding together, when I was riding to that club in High Point with you, when I was recording with you and stuff, I got to know you and see your grind, see your vision, the conversations that we had. I was like, yo, in a lot of ways, she is in the same boat that I'm in. Just
Absolutely.
she's had the balls as a girl. She's had the balls to actually make moves I biologically have balls, so I need to make the moves. Now,
Oh, you're so funny.
now I look at you, and again, you're only 3 years older than I am, right?
Um,
You're still a young lady.
absolutely, absolutely, I agree with that.
You have so much life ahead of you, but I'm looking at you, and I'm looking at you through a legendary peripheral view, because there is decades attached to what you've been doing.
Absolutely,
Decades and consistency, which is a key thing. How many of us are consistent in what we are doing? Because
absolutely.
I know that with the high times, there have been low times. Everybody has low times.
Mm-hmm.
But still, I'm viewing you in that peripheral, and and I can tell that there was a point when it was music business, music recording, music storing, and
Yeah,
whatnot. But now it seems like, though you still love it, you're a musician all the way. That's just a piece of the pie.
absolutely, absolutely. And all of that together makes me who I am, from where I came from and where I'm going and who I am. But it's almost like I spent all those years and it was still more to me. You know what I mean? And you never really get to the more if you're always running on a system. You know, I need you to buy this CD. I need you to da 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 da. I got this da 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 da, which is all fun and games. But it's like sometimes you have to realize that everything ain't about somebody buying into you. Also, you know, it's almost like the fast life is I gotta sell you something. But life also is not about selling a damn thing, but sometimes buying into something. You get what I'm saying, or investing into something. So I feel like I've seen the sale part of my life, but now I'm in the part of the investing, the recouping, the manifestation, the hard work, just me leveling up on just different things and not always buy my CD to help me, which I never, it can easily get like that because money can make you do that. But now it's like I am enjoying more of like, how can I be of service to you? You know, how can I help you do this as far as like, which I've always been like that by helping the artists, but I'm talking about people outside of the artist field. You know, how can I create something that will help our people, or how can I feed this segment of people because they hungry, or how can I help this group of girls because they just like me, but a lot of them are, you know, depressed, or you know, I've had one of my really good friends that I started this group with, she committed suicide, and that could have been me, you know, because so many people get to a point where they deal with a lot of things and they don't have nobody to talk to, or they have this ego or pride where they don't want to talk to nobody, and they just find themselves alone. They can be the best person, the most popular person, all of this and all of that. And deep down inside, they really want to die. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, to me, I feel more attached to finding ways to be of service and help the purpose of what I am for. Because I it's almost like driving a new car. Like me selling CDs and being an artist, that's never gonna change. I'm still driving that car, but it's like, you know, I might have traded that car in and got a newer one, you know, a faster one, a more efficient one, you know, or I might, either way, the point is that I'm still in that lane, but I'm just trying to find ways that more things that the car do instead of just driving fast. I want to know how it handles, or I want to know, you know, I'm just trying to find different ways to do more to just what can satisfy me, hypothetically. You know, I can do music all day long, but at the end of the day, it's me doing music, me. You know what I mean? So that's why I felt the need to branch off into different categories just to find different groups or niches and communities that I am also a part of. How can I be helpful to that? You know what I'm saying? So now it's just like a melting pot where I've added all of this in that I've learned, that I've done, that I enjoy, and I'm just having fun mixing it, to be honest with you. I'm having fun like implementing it, executing it, mixing it, and sprinkling in just the love in general at a time like this. You know what I'm saying? To be able to take my blinders off that just sees myself to see others, you know? Um So I really get a kick out of that, to be honest with you. So everything really at this point, if it don't have purpose, I don't really like moving with it. You know what I'm saying? Because one thing for sure, people can pay you money, but they can also pay you no mind. And people can pay you money, but they still don't necessarily have to value you. I'd rather do something because my spirit and my heart keeps it 100, hypothetically, like what I'm doing right now, because of the gratitude that you've shown me. Now it's reciprocated. You get what I'm saying? And that gives me more joy than always chasing money, money, money. You know what I'm saying? And at this point, like I said, with the years of success that I've had, I attract money. I get money. I am a magnet to money with the blink of an eye. That's easy. But in a blink of an eye, how can I make you feel good? And I ain't talking about sexual either. I'm talking about giving you the confidence, giving you the courage, giving you the pride, giving you the gratitude, giving you the acknowledgement that you deserve, that you need to make sure that you have that strength to keep going when ain't nobody else around. How can I deposit those things into people? How can my words, if I'm an artist, affect people like that, to give them that encouragement when ain't nobody else around, to remember those things and keep them going, hypothetically? That's the type of stuff that I like. You know what I'm saying?
I know what you're saying because that's the type of stuff that keeps your presence. That doesn't make you just a person. That makes you a presence as well.
Absolutely.
A
Absolutely.
presence that will a presence that will presence that will stay around
Absolutely.
even after your
Absolutely.
life is bookended.
Absolutely. Because people remember the good things. I mean, people remember bad things too, but people would never forget the good things. You know what I'm saying? And that is a present that never dies. Bad things people can hold on to as well. So you have to be careful, once again, the ricochet of what you put out. But like I said, I am just at a point now, and that that is my full purpose. Um, because once again, some people say they don't make money, but it does, because a real passion, a real desire, and a real, if you have the right intent, the money comes to you. You attract the money anyway. You know what I'm saying? Money is inert matter. It can't think, speak, or whatever. But if you call it, it comes. So if you really want the money, all you got to do is call it and it come. But the money don't always save you. You know what I'm saying? It's like, where I'm thinking and where I'm headed is bigger than the money. You know what I'm saying? Um, so I say that to answer your question on, like, what I'm doing now is living my purpose, being free, creating, enjoying every bit of it, and making sure that I am a reflection to the people that I am amongst, and I am making sure that I deposit the right things into them. Um, because like I said, that's what lasts forever. You know what I'm saying? And as a legacy, or as a legend, those are the ones that you remember forever. Who's depositing into you. You know what I'm saying? Not always withdrawing. And like I said, I've had my days where I done withdrawed and money, money, money. But now it's about the deposits. How can I put back into the people that put into me? And that's how the cycle and the circle keeps going.
I saw you. I saw you in an interview on it's on YouTube,
Mm-hmm.
and you was like you had your business face on, right?
Mm-hmm.
But I feel like you are way more comfortable talking with me than you were with that guy. So thank you. I feel like I said, I feel like you're way, way, way more comfortable sitting here.
Oh yeah, that
Talking with
was
me.
damn, what was his name? Because
DJ Smalls.
yeah, I think so. Yeah, small DJ Smalls. And he's a little bit more he's like an interrogation. When you're talking to him, it's like being interrogated or something. You know what I mean? That's probably why. Um, and maybe also because it was more of a strict situation, talking about my sister and things like that.
Yeah, I saw that video. I saw that video. I was like, yo, brother's talking little too much about your sister.
Yeah, so that was probably why it was a little bit more of a emotional situation. But even with that, like I said, that happened with my sister in 2002. So my mind has always been different, and that's why I went about it how I went about it. It's just getting deeper now. So everything, like, again, whatever will be, will be. Que sera, sera. Everything It's coming exactly how it's supposed to. It's aligning how it's supposed to, and it's right where it's supposed to be. You know what I'm saying? Um, and that's the thing. You got to be grateful. You got to have, show the gratitude towards, because everything is aligned exactly how it's supposed to be. And you create it. You know what I'm saying? So it's like you create everything that you want. You create how it's going to happen. You create it off your reaction. Um, and even with my sister being murdered, I could like be complaining about that, not be nothing, and just think that my life was so bad because that happened. But instead, it motivated me. It motivated me to be more. It motivated me to be careful who you trust. It motivated me to know that everybody don't mean you well. It kind of prepped me for like just being more aware. And to be aware is to be alive. So I think the whole time I've been quite aware on a big scale, but I am coming phenomenally aware right now. You know what I'm saying? But once again, to be aware is to be alive. You feel me? So um my awareness level has just succeeded anything that I've ever seen right now. You know what I mean? But yeah, I think that's a part of it, just to become more aware and to become more alive. You know what I mean?
Mm, absolutely, because you can exist and you can be alive. There is a big difference.
Absolutely. Absolutely. And nothing really happens. Things will happen to you when you exist, but things will happen for you when you're alive. You know what I'm saying? And I'm going to be honest, things have been happening for me for a very long time. You know what I'm saying? Like, as long as I can remember, since I put my foot down and said, this is what I'm going to do, they happen for me, not to me. You know what I'm saying? Because I don't exist. I've always been a creator. You know what I'm saying? And I'm going to continue to create. And the things that I'm now, like I said, I watched something last night that said when you're doing these things, create it, make sure that it at least helps three people, because that is the power of the numbers. You know what I'm saying? So if whatever you're working on doesn't help, inspire, encourage, or help at least three people, it's being a selfish motive. You know what I'm saying? So that's really like what I always live by. Like, how can I help others and not just myself? So that's really more and more and more what I like to do. Find ways where I can help the people, find ways where I get the joy from helping people. And it's like a fairy tale though, because some people are like, oh, that shit don't make no money. But the thing is that, like I said, it's like a joy that no other can explain.
Hmm.
Doing what you love and seeing it manifest. You know what I mean? And it's like a very powerful thing on like manifestation, what you create. And I think I not think, but I have superpowers, bro. I literally create stuff from nothing and follow through, and it really happens. You know what I'm saying? Like,
This, I feel this would rub a lot of my fellow Christians the wrong way, but I'm just gonna call a spade a spade. Um, as the original people, I feel like as the original people, you know, black people, when they talk about the chosen people in the Bible, they're talking about Jews, right? Well, this guy Nick Cannon in trouble, and someone hear this and get mad, kiss my butt. Black people are the original Jews. Period. Not African Americans, but darker, close to the equator, original people in the motherland. People are the chosen people. Therefore, if you're like the original people, you're operating with that. You're operating with that godliness deep down inside of you, right? Like the Bible does say, Genesis 1:27. I say you are made in the image of God. If you are made in the image of God, then you could call a few things to be, right? You can set forth a divine path for yourself, right?
right. But the other crazy thing is that the Bible will tell you that it's 144 people that are chosen, but the 144 is really just a frequency of the chakras of where you should be vibrating at to be at your higher self. So basically, 144,000, you drop the zeros, and it's 144 frequency that you're supposed to be at within that chakra of your higher self. So basically, you have the God in you when you're vibrating higher. You have the devil in you when you're vibrating in your root chakra. So the high, the low. So basically, the devil and the God that they put in the Bible, that's why Jesus hypothetically came back to tell the people that you are gods, pretty much. The chosen people are gods because, you can vibrate at that higher self, which is in you, at that higher consciousness, Christ consciousness, which is the Christ consciousness. But in the same way, you can vibrate as the devil, and the devil exists in you if you're vibrating in your root chakra. So the 144 is the 144 frequency that we supposed to be vibrating at for ascension, to be able to ascend to your higher self. Yeah.
Man, that is such a Pisces thing to do, is step on the little bit of the little bit of the little bit of knowledge that I was putting up out there. And it's like, oh, 144 and chakra. Such a Pisces thing to do.
Ah, you so silly, ADQ. Why are you so funny? Oh my
It's always been like
gosh.
this.
Oh my gosh. You talking about that's such a you're so funny. You make me laugh. Oh my gosh. Woo! But I once again, I'm just saying, I wouldn't even try to touch on that, but
I
I
know
just
I'm
did.
messing with you.
I just did want to let you know, because I seen some people arguing the other day, like, they were chosen, they were 144,000. And it's always been on my heart, like, how is it 144,000 when it's so many people that's supposed to be vibrating on, you know, in greatness, But then it came upon me on some information that I was digging that is not 144,000 people, but it's the frequency of 144 and the zeros drop off. And that 144 is the highest frequency, which in your higher self, which then aligns with the Christ consciousness. Um, yeah. So that was pretty deep. My dang old self when I learned that. I was like, good God Almighty. So yeah, it's a lot of things that once again is told and ain't necessarily the truth, but it has some truth in it. It's just how you kind of it's the perception, and nobody's perception. Sometimes they're the same, but most perception is all about how you perceive things and how I perceive it. Doesn't make yours right or wrong, but it's just once again in the perception. You know what I'm saying? But that's the thing that they've played with so many people perception because you can see something different and I can see something different. And that's how they kind of control, you know, certain individuals. You know what I'm saying? But needless to say, I enjoy looking into stuff like that. I enjoy watching my crazy movies. I enjoy watching and learning all kinds of stuff that the average people ain't teaching or talking about because that's what I like to learn. How can I advance myself, better myself, and really gain the knowledge to apply that it can go on for on and on forever. But I enjoy that part too because, like I said, that's a part of growth to be able to take in certain information and knowledge and just have a different perception. You know what I'm saying? And sometimes the perception lines right up from what you've been thinking the whole time because a lot of us know that shit ain't right when it ain't right. But then also you have to do a little digging to really get the answers instead of just saying, oh, it ain't right. And then you just kind of go with it not being right, but it's answers out there to stuff that ain't right in the first place. But it's just how if you want to look, they'll start coming. You know what I mean? And
Mm.
it's like that's what I did. I opened myself to the truth, and ever since then, I ain't got nothing but the truth. You know what I mean? Every time I turn around, it's the truth. Something that made me really scratch my head. And that's probably why, like, my page is probably so confrontational, in conflict then because people don't know what the damn think when they see my page. But I've always been one of expression, and that's why I'm an artist. I don't care. I will utilize that platform to talk how I feel like talking, no matter what somebody's perception is. Because if that's my platform to talk, then that's why I use it, just to kind of get the mind to think. You know what I'm saying? Because in certain times, some people may not be put in a situation to think. Some people are pushing a situation to follow the herd. I like to kind of make you think a little bit. And whether you agree with the perception I'm saying or not, at least it makes you think about some other things. And then as you may go try to find that information, you may be enlightened on something else. Whatever is meant for you to know, it will reveal itself. You get what I'm saying? And that's what I think is dope about the whole thing. Like, the truth is out there and everything is bigger than what we think. And like I said, the moment we can kind of like handle our ego and put that damn thing and tame it a little bit, we can start really figuring out more things that exist. You get what I'm saying? Not only for ourselves, but just in general. And I think that like the moment we don't look, the moment, you know what I mean, we kind of closed in. You feel me? And I just always like to expand. You know what I mean? And I'm having a good time expanding, ADQ.
Speaking of expanding, has this felt have does it feel like we've been talking for 2 hours?
No, I just looked at that and I was like, good God Almighty. Well, I did know that I just finished driving from one place to another that was about 2 hours, and I've been here almost at my destination. So I figured it was about that time.
Yeah, my podcast run long like that because I like to think that I'm a very intricate conversationalist. But if I do say so myself,
You are ADQ.
thank
Yeah.
you, thank you. Now tell me this. As we start to wind this down, cause I know you got things to do, and the attention span these days lasts for like 2 seconds, let alone 2 hours.
Mm-hmm.
But so I already asked this earlier, but just for clarification, I can't talk. Just for clarification.
Mm-hmm.
Well, actually, hold on. Before I hit that, just something came in my mind. I'm sorry, I'm having a 35 moment. Um, you're still in Winston, right?
No, I'm out here by Raleigh at the present moment.
No, I'm talking about as far as living.
No, I got a house out here in Raleigh.
Oh, she in Raleigh now.
But I
Okay,
just came from Winston. That's why I was driving. Yeah.
okay. Well, you are Winston built, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
I I moved to Winston, lived there for 8 years, right?
Mhm.
I claim Winston. There's been people who say that I can't claim Winston, but I'm like, yo, I lived there for almost a decade. Leave me alone. Trey
Right.
Poe.
Right.
And you're espousing all of this. I think about what Dr. Claude Anderson said about about how he's originally from Winston. Ninth Wonder, he has pretty much changed the game in hip hop. Um, there used to be Black Wall Street going on in Winston. You got the Black Theater Festival in Winston. Yo, we could agree that Winston is a dope place to be bred from, correct? Would you
Yep.
say that? Would you
I mean,
say
yeah,
that?
it's definitely, yeah, it's definitely dope.
Would you say that if you would you say that being from Winston Salem is a big part of you being who you are?
Um, yeah, it's definitely a big part. But I think my soul has been here way more times than this physical body right here. So I think my contract on who I am as an individual, returning back to this place in general, will have something to do with I am. And yes, Winston Salem was a melting pot for that. But I think my soul has been here quite a few times, and Winston Salem is an absolute melting pot. But I think it's a lot of other things that makes me who I am. You know what I'm saying? But Winston is amazing. And now when I go to Winston, I'm either handling business or making sure, doing some volunteer work at the soup kitchen and things like that, and trying to do my best to give back to that situation. So Winston, I love it. I got my family there and everything like that. But yeah, I think that's anywhere in the world. It's not just one particular place that makes an individual. It's just um, what they take from the good and the bad of anywhere that they're born at or put at, and whatever they can make out of something, is you know how that person develops. You get what I'm saying? But yeah, Winston is amazing. But like I said, I think hell, if I would have born in Tennessee or Timbuktu, I think I probably would have been the same great, phenomenal hustler. Because I am Carolina's hustler, you know this. But I think I would have been that anywhere. I could have been in Tennessee, and I would have been Tennessee's hustler. So, Winston is amazing. But like I said, I've been here so many earth cycles, to the point where this person in this little flesh, I don't know, they was gonna break out either damn way. Wherever you could put me in a damn cage, I would have broke out. So it's just kind of like I'm just built like that, ADQ.
I think that your soul may be commandeering multiple bodies simultaneously because I get you 100%. Um also as far as your encouragement tendencies goes, I would like to share a story real quick.
Okay.
Now, what one thing that I once did once when we went to that club in High Point, I forgot the name of it.
Mm-hmm.
Um,
Peppers or 101.
yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So I pulled a big no no that I've learned not to do on stage at any time, whether rapping, acting, none of that, right?
Mm-hmm.
So I get up on stage because I was about to perform this joint that I wrote called Black America. I thought it was a great song at the time. I was, praising Obama. But now that I know what I know about Obama, I'm like, I ain't praising it, man.
Mm-hmm.
Um, well, I praise no man. Anyway, I got up on stage. I was about to do it. Then, boom, I forgot my lyrics. I forgot all my rhymes. Now, the professional thing to do would be, hey, just freestyle, rock with it. I panicked and walked off stage. You and the other MCs there kept on telling me to come back and stuff. But I was just so upset that I forgot my rhymes and stuff. Walked off stage. You came through, looked at me and said, "What the hell happened?" You didn't mind me anything. You encouraged me. I think you told me that you've had bad performances before and stuff. Yeah.
Absolutely. And
So
that's the thing about support. Sorry to cut you off because is not to laugh at you, it's to help you. You get what I'm saying? Like, I don't know if you know of the artist Jerry White, but he's a singer from Winston, and he has a song with the baby and everything. But he did the same thing when I had the club in downtown Winston, 411 to 411. I used to do open mics. That was his first time performing. He got up there, completely dropped the ball, and ever since then, though, he remembers me just from the first time that he collapsed and did not do his part, but it made him better. And as he's this great performer now, he'll never forget that point where he froze. But the point is that it's not to laugh at people. You have to experience that and still have the support and courage to keep going. And honestly, that's what the game is about. You know what I'm saying? If we're on the same team, how to keep your morals up, because I'm with you, not against you. You know what I'm saying? The same way you roll with me because you needed a ride to the club and I was willing to take you and make sure you performed. That's all I ever wanted to do. Make sure I can help accordingly. Make sure I can be a good friend. You feel me? Make sure that I got your back. I don't lead you astray. I ain't there to, you know what I'm saying, to bring anybody no ill will or intent. And that, I think, is a beautiful love story, because as you remember that, and as you remember that moment, and it either pushed you or broke you, and look at you, it pushed you. You get what I'm saying? I think that's really dope. Yep.
it did. It did. In the time since then, I've learned improv and I learned
Absolutely.
tighten up on my freestyle. And now, if I ever forget my lines again, just give some give some lines that comes within the trajectory and the gist of the dialogue that needs to be presented, regardless of what platform.
Right. And sometimes, though, once again, only you know what you feel and what you have and what is required. Because if you're forced or pushed to do something that you don't agree, you don't have to sign up for that either, because you don't want to do something that you're not comfortable with. But at the end of the day, that's where the ego and the pride comes in at. And, so it's like only you know how to improv, and only you know when and why, if your mind was on something else that distracted you. Because if you were distracted from your initial poem, you might be distracted to freestyle. So it doesn't make all because you came up with a way to kind of bounce back. If it would have made it any better, you still have to use that at your own discernment. You know what I'm saying? Before you make a bad situation worse. You know what I'm saying? So it's just all about you being able to know how you should react, when you should react, and it's okay not to always react. You get what I'm saying? But you got that discernment. You took it, step back, build yourself, build what you needed, moved forward, and it didn't break you. You know what I'm saying? It only, it helped you. You get what I'm saying? So it's like those are the choices, those are the things, and those are the circumstances. But not all of them is like, damn, I fucked up. Some of them are like, because then it's like, even if you like, all right, freestyle now, and if you dropped your words and then you just come up with some bullshit and it still ain't a good representation of you, then it's still like, you missed the shit to still step in the shit. You get what I'm saying? So it's like learning to improv, learning to know when, learning to know like why your mind ain't right. All of these are just part of learning, you, and it's all the things that happen. And once again, people get so caught up in trying to prove stuff to these people. I think that was more the learning lesson. Don't You ain't gotta prove that to nobody. But at the end of the day, if you dropped the ball and you felt like you needed to prove it to you, that's the only person that you gotta prove it to. You get what I'm saying? Those people at the club, hell, even me, I forgot about it. The only person that remembered it was you when you just said it, and it made me remember it. But people forget about stuff like that. It's all about how you pick up your bags and move forward. You get what I'm saying? So, I think that's the gist of what it's about, and keeping people who can always motivate you and not there to make fun of you. You know what I'm saying? Because in that, you will find you are at your best and full potential. You feel me?
I feel you 100%. 100%. Now, last question, and then we gotta get the contact info. If
Okay.
I'm in Raleigh one day, and I'm like, yo, I'm out here, I'm about to highlight this girl who I want to get with, but yo, my locks are looking messed up. Who hooks you up? Who hooks up your locks?
I done had mine cut like 2 times because they were too long. I do mine myself,
What?
but yeah, I couldn't really send you nowhere because I don't even really get mine done like that. I mean, I might get bored and twist them up myself, but yeah, they was too long, so I had to cut them. And so they up now, but they're definitely longer. But I still had to cut them from the original length that they were. So I really wouldn't want to send you to nobody that I don't know, to be honest with you. But yours look amazing. Let them grow. Let them do their own thing and stay out of it and let them naturally do their thing,
I've been getting them done. I've been getting them redone monthly. I can't help myself.
Yeah, you don't want to do it monthly anyway because it's going to make your hair frail. Just let them grow. Let them get bushy. Let them get strong, naturally. You know what I mean?
I'll try. I'm going to try.
Yeah.
I'm going to try. So you do that. So that masterpiece that you got going on, you did that?
Oh, masterpiece. Boy, you so funny. Stop it. Stop it. I just do these up, but when I twist them, yeah. But luckily, I'm in the car. You can't really see that good. But you ain't even got to see all that photo. If it look like a masterpiece, baby, it is the piece to the master. So we gonna leave it just like that. But I try
It's
not
a
to get
masterful piece of the master.
look. We gonna leave. I'm gonna take your word for it because it must look good from your end. Right now, I was, we didn't, we didn't gonna get it all that. But yeah, let it grow naturally. Leave it alone. Keep your hands out of it and let the baby sprout.
You say keep my hands out of it?
Yeah, keep your hands out of it and let it sprout.
What if I need to wash it or like put some oil on it or something?
Well, yeah, you can do that, but just naturally let it do that. I mean, after that. Yeah, after
Okay.
that.
I just need to start collecting headbands, right?
Yep, and just put it up and do its thing. Let it do its thing. It
Okay.
looks good on you. You got a good look going for yourself.
Thank you. Thank you so much. Oh, Lord
You so
Jesus.
you so amazing, ADQ.
You're amazing too, Ricochet. Like for real, for real.
Thank you.
Now, how can the viewing audience get up on on Facebook, YouTube, and Twitch? How can the viewing audience get in contact with your amazingness for coaching or a feature or a studio time or flows or be one of the many who talk about, or just to tell you how much you rock Rick, how much you Ricochet, how can people get in contact with you?
Well, on YouTube, I'm accessible on YouTube as far as watching older content. Of course, that's Ricochet, Rykashay. Or you got the Instagram, Ricochet. You got the Some Talk About Instagram. You got the One on One Bar Row Instagram. You got the Pretty Tomboy Instagram. Um, Now, how often I'm on Instagram to be able to check the activity, I can't tell you that. But moving right along, you got Facebook, and then pretty much you got the Shine Bright. You do have a Ricochet artist page. I don't check that. But the Shine Bright one, you can probably get on and active, because that is the one where we actually have the active one-on-one business, which is the club on wheels. Where if you want your party, you want your listening party, you want your birthday party, you want your wedding, you want any party in COVID-19 restrictions brought to you front door or anywhere of your choice, we bring the whole club to you with that. So Shine Bright, one-on-one entertainment and one-on-one bar roll is from the Shine Bright via Facebook. That would probably be the best way. Um, that would probably be the best way, because, like I said, I have to get online for social media and marketing purposes, but I am like, it gives me anxiety. So I try not to stay on those things long, but you definitely can find me there. And it's always a pleasure. And if you can't find me there, just reach into the universe, think about me, and I shall appear. So it depends on however they want to contact me.
It depends on whatever energy you coming at.
Right,
It depends on whatever energy you coming at you with.
right. Yeah, that's right. That's right.
If someone coming at you like, hey, yo, let me pay you on the back end. I got beef with someone. Bye. But if I hit you like, yo, I want to celebrate you on my podcast.
Right. Tell them to go through you, and it will make it happen. You know what I'm saying?
Got
Yeah,
you,
tell
got
tell them to go through you. It will make it happen. Other than that, Ricochet, uh, the energy is everywhere. I'm always putting it out. I'm always getting it back. If they don't know who Ricochet is, ask their mama, their grandmommy, their auntie, whoever it is. Ask ADQ. They know what time it is. But other than that, between that, link with you. They link with me. And other than that, do they research if they don't know who I be, baby?
And by the way, if you try to spell ricochet like the actual word ricochet, you might mess around and bump into the wrestler. So Rykashay.
AY. Yep. Yeah, that Ricochet. Yes.
Now, any of Ricochet's people who want to contact me, my email is adq4christ@gmail.com. My Twitter handle is Avenue ADQ _85. Yeah, named after the musical Avenue Q. My Instagram is Dion Chocolate God 85. Hey, I
Okay,
call it like I see.
Dion Chocolate God.
I mean, hey, you see what you see is what you get.
He's
And
so funny.
on Facebook, my name is Adrian Dion Quarles. You all on Facebook, y'all see this, but Adrian Dion Quarles, that's what ADQ stands for. ADRIANDIONQUARLES. Please don't call CIA on me. Ricochet.
Yes, sir. Hey, it was a pleasure. And I don't know how often you do this or what kind of content that you usually bring, but I have probably some people that in the conscious community that would love to build with you on your platform and really kind of help build it. And they have a different substance than speaking of artistry, but I think that what you offer is a great opportunity. And I think that some way finding a way to jumble it up and give you a different interviewers and different special guests would be a great thing. And I'm definitely going to send some people your way that will be interested in really, really digging deep into some of the stuff that they talk about, and just enlightening you, your audience, or just giving them a platform. So I would like to send some people your way, and that way you check them out, fill them out, and I just hope that you You have plenty of success with your acting, with your teaching, with your podcast here. And I hope that it grows to an abundant amount of success that you can't even handle, but yet you can handle it because you ADQ. You know what I mean? So I wish you
Thank
much
you
success,
so much.
brother. Yep. And
Thank
if
you.
I can
Also,
help in any way, I would love to, and I'm gonna send them your way.
please do, because if you like go up into the earlier episodes of ADQ's Renaissance, I had an interview with a brother by the name of Brad Simmons. He's
Oh
part of
yeah,
this group.
Soul Society.
Huh?
Yeah, Soul Society. Yep.
Them brothers.
Yep. Yep.
Um, he went completely conscious on. He went
Yep.
completely conscious. Talked about rebuilding and stuff. See, on ADQ's Renaissance, I've talked to authors, a guy who ran for my man for Fahim Hanu, who ran for county commissioner. If you guys want to talk about, you got some substance, let's chop it
Absolutely.
up.
There you go. You got something to talk about. Yes, sir. That's what I'm talking
Oh
about.
my goodness, do you see
You
that?
said you heard it. If you got some something, you said it. You said if you got something to talk about, some substance. That's what I'm saying. It's there already. That's what I mean. See, we've been here before. We done double back on them 10 years later. None of this by coincidence.
Exactly.
I love you. I love you, and I'm sending you people a much success to you, man. I did not mean to hold you up for 2 minutes, 2 hours and 21 minutes and 18 seconds, but I know.
You didn't hold me up. This has been great. And also, I gotta tell you this, Ricochet.
Uh-huh.
For all you do, for all that you've done, doing, and will do, for all that you're about, for all of the greatness that you put out into the stratosphere, for all the help that you help the people, for all that you have done for me and for others, you, ma'am, are a value, needed, necessary, beloved, and I already said needed once. Let's see, important member of the Renaissance. Our people are better because of you.
Oh, you're so elegant, ADQ. Thank you so much. Thank
See,
you.
when you say you so elo something, I'm about to say you so elephant, and I'm like, damn,
Eloquent, crazy. You're so special. You're just so needed. You just so the way you put words together is like a poet in his prime.
thank you. You know, we Virgos are like that. I mean, Nas, Beyonce, not so much, but me, Nas.
Oh, you're so silly. Hey, thank you. Like I said, I'm gonna send some people your way. Much success to you, and yeah, we'll double back. And like I said, let's stay in touch. I'm gonna start sending you some information for you just to check out, and I just would love for you to be a part of the nation, the village that I'm building, as you always been, and I'll keep you in the loop, and vice versa.
Please do. And here's something you can do for me. Subscribe to my YouTube.
Hey, I got it. I definitely will for you, brother.
Appreciate you, my sister. I love you.
Hey, I love you too. You have an awesome night. Keep up the good work, and I'm proud of you.
Back to you. Hallelujah.
Shut your mouth. Later, boy. Later. Thank you.
Thank you.
Right. Peace.
And that, my people, was Rykashay. I hope you all enjoyed what you heard. And just to take you out. Why am I talking like that? I don't know why I'm talking like that. But just to take you out, real quick. I know. We kept y'all up past your bedtime, but that is what happens when powerful dialogue is taking place. So just to take you out, real quick. Quick cuss me out. Don't quick cuss me out. Let's see. Hold on for a second. Let's see. Pretty tomboys. Talk about our legacy. Take you out. I know why they hating, 'cause I'm making history on them. I know why they faking, build my legacy on them. I'm Dr. Portugal,
got it from the mud. I been with it, got it. Money calling, heard the money calling, had to run it up. They call me a legend, so wanna be legendary. They call me a legend, so wanna be legendary. They keep calling me a legend, so I'ma be legendary. They keep calling me a legend, so I'ma be legendary. I'ma be legendary. Legacy, legacy. I'm building up a legacy. West Coast to the east. Yeah, they know about me. I sound cocky when I talk. I tell the truth when I preach. Wait. Somebody tell me why they hate on me. I just hustle with the muscle. I just go and get the green. I swear I came from the bottom. Now I'm at the top looking clean. Stacking up my money. Now niggas, you know what the business is. I'ma take your baby mama, and we gon' go start some businesses. I know why they hate it, cause I'm making it to be honest. I know why they fake it, building my legacy on the underdog portion when they got it from the mud. I been with it, got it. Money calling, heard the money calling, had to run it up. They call me a legend, wanna be legendary. They call me a legend, wanna be legendary. They keep calling me a legend, so I'ma be legendary. They keep calling me a legend, so I'ma be legendary. I'ma be legendary. Legacy. I'm building up a legacy. Haters talk when they see me, cause I'm what they wanna be. There's plenty ways to get money. Broke nigga, choose one. I was out here trying to make it. I thank God I won. Only he can be the judge of me. Prayed up while I'm hustling. Snakes claiming they got love for me. Ain't no way I'm putting trust in me. No. Steady stacking up the dough. Yeah, I asked you why they hating on me, but I already know. I know why they hating, cause I'm making it to be honest. I know why they faking, building my legacy on the underdog portion when they got it from the mud. I been with it, got it. Money calling, heard the money calling, had to run it up. They call me a legend, so wanna be legendary. They call me a legend, so wanna be legendary. They keep calling me a legend, so I'ma be legendary. They keep calling me a legend, so I'ma be legendary. I'ma be legendary.
I hate these advertisements.
Dame la ciencia. Balance up, seems we all lost. Catching charges, catching bodies, just trying to be the boss. Don't give a care about what it costs, just give me the sauce. See you like we ain't the same if you think it's my fault. Up is down, down is up, seems we all lost. Catching charges, catching bodies, just trying to be the boss. Don't give a care about what it costs, just give me the sauce. You like we ain't the same if you think it's my fault. You ever had your partner printed on the t-shirt? He dead and gone from that 5-man, that really hurts. Ever seen his mama grieving? You just want it even. Catch him slipping, leave the whole scene wet and bleeding. It just keep repeating, perpetual is eating. At the soul of our ancestors, drums are beating. So who gon' start speaking like a passionate deacon that's reaching for that season to be the voice of the heathen? As long as I'm breathing, I'll give the track reason to stand up in the right direction. Yes, I'm preaching. I guess we're all preaching, cause I'm confessing death. I'm on that opposite. Matter of fact, brother, watch yourself. Breathe life and watch what grows off the tongue. It is a listening, especially melanated young. There's power in your words. You can motivate the verb. Put action to your rapping, man. These songs are bigger than words. Up is down, down is up. Seems we all lost. Catching charges, catching bodies, just trying to be the boss. Don't give a care about what it costs. Just give me the sauce. You like we ain't the same if you think it's my fault. Up is down, down is up. Seems we all lost. Catching charges, catching bodies, just trying to be the boss. Don't give a care about what it costs. Just give me the sauce. You like we ain't the same if you think it's my fault.
Took a few lefts, but I'm alright. Lost my breath, figured I needed Christ. Lost my knees like Nike stripes, no Jordans. Still paying the price. The world applauded, the whole world distorted. Little kids just wanted the world getting distorted. Trying to get a fortune, without getting a fortune. Swimming in the ocean when I'm trying to grab my motions. I am not boasting, I am not joking, I am not laying down when it comes to the hoping. While your neck keep hanging and your soul keep dangling. All these seconds be sinking and all your time could be missing. Speak life and watch what rolls off your tongue. The kids are listening, especially the youth. Power in your words, I can show you a verb. I can show you the first, as long as we merge. Up and down, valleys up, seas we all lost. Catching charges, catching bodies, just try to see the boss. Don't give a care about what it costs, just give me the sauce. You ready, we ain't the same if you think it's my fault. Up and down, valleys up, seas we all lost. Catching charges, catching bodies, just try to see the boss. Don't give a care about what it costs, just give me the sauce. You lame, we ain't the same if you think it's my fault. Cardio burns.
Whatever. Alright, y'all. I'm ADQ. That was Rykashay. That was actually the last song was Trey Libra featuring Natman, Up Down. And the song before that was Rykashay Joint Legacy. I'm sputtering because I'm actually a little tired. I've been grinded. So she challenged me to leave my hair alone. I'm gonna try. It's crazy, man. But anyway, that was like an STB masterclass right there. So much love to my sister. It was great chopping it up with her. Before we go, let me share a little bit more Black Power with you.
This telephone, this camera. It's time, y'all. It's time. It's this thing that I'm holding in my hand, this telephone, this camera. It is quite powerful. Social media is powerful. We can do something with this. If we want to change, we can really, truly make it happen. You know, we sit out here and talk about, oh, we need the next so-and-so and this and that. No, you don't. No, you don't. Start in your own home. Start with you. You start being that person to want to make that change. So it's funny. I might, whoever is watching this, you might hear I'm probably going to get a few of the Michael Jackson, oh, I want to make that change comment. But laugh all you want to. Say what you want. But I'm here to change history. I am ready to do what I need to do for this next generation. It's time. It's time for me.
That was the great Sandra Bland. Queen, you made your change. We love you, miss you. All right, y'all. That's been ADQ's Renaissance. This has been ADQ's Renaissance. Next week, we're going to chop it up with my homie Otis Simpson. Shout out to Rykashay. I'm ADQ. Peace, y'all.